So my clients always come to me and say, Michelle, can you give me an idea of a range of budget for this type of event? And it's always tough because we have to first determine if it's a lower end event or if it's a higher event, and it also really depends on what the client's looking for. And I know when it comes to food and beverage, it's similar. So there's so many things that you have to think about: staffing, rentals, the type of food service. How would you recommend your clients when they're budgeting? What are the types of things that they need to think about?
So basically there are 3 elements that I would tell my client to focus on, and that would be the menu, which are the food costs, the rentals, which can vary depending on your event. Sit-down dinners, you may have less rental requirements as you would if you had stations, because you need all the little vessels, all the side plates, all the cutlery, and those add up. And also the staffing. Staffing is a very important part at an event, and it needs to be put into your budget when you're trying to figure out what your actual costs of your event are going to be.
Definitely. So in terms of staffing, are there general rules of thumb that you guys utilize? So for example, if you're doing a plated dinner, is it generally 1 per 2 tables, or with bartenders or with pass hors d'oeuvres? Are there any rules of thumb when budgeting that we can kind of take into consideration with staffing?
I find that it really depends a lot on the extensity of the menu. So for an hors d'oeuvre party, typically if you've got 7 different hors d'oeuvres, 7 or 8 different hors d'oeuvres and 100 people, you're going to want 2 or 3 chefs on that. If you're doing a sit-down dinner, for service staff, we typically do 1 per 10 to 12, depending on budget and depending on the style of dinner. So, if it's pretty casual, everyone's having the same meal and it's just coming out at once with all the service staff, we can go up to 1 per 20 guests. For cocktail parties, I typically do 1 per 45. And same thing with bartender. Once you hit 100, you're going to want to have at least 2 bartenders on, or there's going to be a queue, which is not something that you want at your event.
Yeah, my general rule with bartenders is 1 per 50.
Yeah.
Around that.
Yeah.
Okay, great.